Hello. It is time to test the blobfish. Of course, I dropped my testing rod in the water. Happens almost every time. Anyway, the blobfish, there it is. If this thing falls apart while I'm testing it, it's because I just have the joints kind of tacked in really loose, so I might only get a few swipes out of this to know if it works good. But here we go, it floats. I saw a wiggle. You ready? Ooh, it's one of those baits where you have to kind of start it. Oh, it did a really good job off of that pole. Yeah, you might need to move it like a foot or two and then it starts wiggling really good. That's fine. There, it did the whole time. That's the wiggle. Ooh, it fell apart. Okay, that's all we're gonna get out of testing this. Joint popped out. That's good though. I don't want those sticking. I have to paint this still. On to painting. Alright, there's a paint scheme going on this bait that complements the blobbish nature of this fish quite well. We're going to paint it how it looks when you bring it up from 1,200 meters, not how it looks down there. Nobody sees it down there. People are only familiar with how the blobfish looks when it's dead. So that's how we will paint it. Now this bait's got 4 pieces. Just pink fleshy, kind of gray. I'd say gray, kind of like off-white. Off-white with gray, pink, fleshy. Not that complicated, but I know it's gonna be hard to paint. This is one of those, like, I need to make it look translucent when it's not. Starting with white. I'm gonna do base coat, clear coat, final touches, just like all my other baits. I go into a ton of detail about that in the course, Fish with Your Masterpiece course, linked below. So we got natural habitat, normal depth below sea level, and then some extreme tissue damage. We're gonna meet in the middle. It's gonna have some of those sandy tones and a lot of fleshy tones. Let's say like we got it to 1,000 feet below sea level. Right about there, rapidly. I'm gonna put a gray. This is like a darker gray. I'm going for shadows. I'm only gonna spray the nooks and crannies as well. Around the gills, around the nose. Fade it into that tail fin a little bit. I'm trying to get the right angle and send that paint just straight into the crack. Just faded that gray in a little bit. Darker tones on the fins always look a bit better. Did you hear that? Chip goes to the door that connects to the house when I'm in the garage and scratches it when he needs to go out. Like he doesn't go to that door. Come here. To go outside. So strange. Okay, I got a tough choice. I could use bleached bone. It's a bit brighter. Or I could go with skeleton bone, it's a bit darker, but they're both bone colors. And then there's hobgoblin hue. I mean, I got old bone white, I got a lot of bone colors. Charred bone. The bone color was like it's the same color as casting resin, so it's like you don't even have to paint a bait. I mean, I'm sure people do paint it like some kind of bone color, but you wouldn't have to. Just paint the details and maybe some scales or something. And I'm gonna go with skeleton bone. It's between charred bone and bleached bone. Chip, come on. Good boy. We're gonna do this at certain angles that don't make the gray go all the way away. Yeah, that's the gray, that's the skeleton bone. It's pretty dark. I'm gonna hold it back a bit. So I'd say that added to the potential for this to look more translucent. It's needing a lot more color and stuff. I might just have to move to bleach bone too. I'm gonna get this color on the rest of the pieces and, you know, lighten it up a bit. It added a yellow tone to this bait, which I think it will need once we start getting the pinks on. I'm just calling it right now. Vascular violet. Let's put it on early. This is like a bruise, you know, like varicose vein color. It's around the mouth. It's very, very purple. And I don't want very, very purple. I want just to, you know, I want there to like be a question if this is even a color that's on the bait or not. So 2 feet. We're gonna arc the paint droplets onto this thing. Oh, careful. Hobgoblin hue. I know it's hobgoblin, but this is a blobfish. This is going everywhere, sparingly. It's going to be the lighter bone color. That lightened things up perfectly. This is gonna be a good base to put the pink on. And I might, one sec, there's like a fuzzy on here I gotta get off. Pretty certain I'm gonna wait till after the base coat, clear coat, to get the pinks on. One sec. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. We're gonna do some other stuff. I think the other stuff might involve a bit of brown. Yeah. Excuse me, Chip. That kind of brown. Got a piece of mesh here, but I'm gonna jumble it up. Maybe fold it strangely a few times. It needs texture, but still like a little bit of pattern to that texture, like evenly spaced, just a bit. When you fold mesh like that, it does that. It's not scales, it's just like a patterned texture. So there's a color around the mouth that it passes pink. It goes into like blood. And I don't want to just spray a blood color on this bait. But I'm gonna. I just thought about that longer than you would care to know. I'm gonna keep the needle really close, like stick that edge in that crack pretty much and just give it a little bit. And if we get some splatter coming off of a lip, all the blobber, fine by me. It'll look good. Blood red, literally, blood red. Touching the bait with the needle. Look at that. I splattered down the edge there. Trying not to get too happy with it, but that looks good. I'll take those red tones before the pink. Just trying to let the splatter be a thing. Okay, a nice cautious light coat of infectious pink. That's looking correct. Put a tiny bit of highlight red in the clear coat here. Base coat, clear coat. I don't know what I'm gonna be doing. Like I put a lot of detail on this base coat. Yeah, I don't know what I'll be doing. Finishing touches. The fins, of course. I'm gonna keep this clear coat out of the sockets. Every fin socket and the eye socket. I'll probably do stuff for that tail fin. This was an easier paint scheme than I thought it'd be. But I'm not done yet, so I should be quiet. That's looking great. Those are pretty clean. Usually I'm going back and forward 1,000 times and just trying to clean stuff up. Those came out pretty good on the first try. And unfortunately, blobfish fins are like dirty and stuff. I could have messed up and it would have been fine, but I didn't. It's the very next day. Good morning. clear coat set. This thing's looking fantastic. We're gonna be able to use that clear coat we just put on to achieve a smoother look. I'm gonna put, I think this is pearlized. I really hope this is pearlized because I want a sheen, translucent sheen over what I already painted of pinks, fleshy tones, and that's it. No more. Then we're gonna paint the fins and then we're done. Put it all together, clear coat it again, go test out what we made. Talisman purple. You know, if it's not pearlized, it's not the end of the world. It seems like it's pearlized. I'll be doing a little bit of coming back into details that I carved, like the gills. Trying to add depth like that, but not take away any detail. I'm going with red on the spines. Red really gets in there, you gotta be careful. This is triggering my phobia of little things. I get an ucky feeling when I touch little tiny things like these fins. Feels gross. That's a good start though. Glad I did that instead of the black. Now we're gonna go flesh and pink. Probably, where is it? Hobgoblin and infectious pink. That's just a lighter color on the back. That looks great though. And pinker towards where the fin connects to the body. It's a pretty sweet connection to the body there. That looks good. Can't dwell on that too long. I'm gonna get every other fin in here before this 5-minute epoxy sets. Just admire how good it looks for 5 minutes. Grab some 1/4 inchers from Dead Meat Custom, and this right there with the purple thin iris kind of thing. That's like a pearly white iris with purple in the back. That would be the most appropriate, but I'm gonna go with this because it's the most blobby, like a drooped, saggy pupil. It will look best on this. That is an aggressively recessed eye socket. All right, downward droopage looks right. Thank you, Dead Meat Custom. That looks good, so good. If I ever take video of myself signing a bait like this, it makes me feel like a pompous loser. Like, how much more pretentious can you get taking video of yourself signing your prize signature on something? You know what I mean? That eye is so good, very correct. It went from grumpy to confused and concerned. That eye changed the whole look.
I don't know, I get anxiety about what's going on. Oh. It gets kind of like,
Got some epoxy on the lip. I don't want to brush it off with my thumb or start smearing it around because it's going to look worse if I do that. So I'm just leaving it. Maybe I can chip it off later. Other than that, we're looking good. A little bit of pattern to all that texture. That's what the real fish looks like. See you when this thing's put together. Pole's just been sitting there ready to go for months. So before that's ready, we're gonna go poke around the streams, under spillways, places where I can just drop the bait down and see if they'll bite. Give it a little jiggle. And if they are biting okay, maybe we'll go like try to catch some walleye or something. I got the rest of the day. It's 30 minutes past noon right now, so we got a while. Let's get on a middle of February bite. This is why I'm doing this. It's a balmy 48 out right now. Go test the waters. Okay, we're gonna try out probably the stupidest spot first, which it'll be good to get out of the way. I don't know, there's a chance we could get something, but we'll see. I don't know, there's quite a bit of water running through there. Someone else just about had the same idea, so luckily I scared them off with my big brown furry bear coat. This thing's like wearing a throw blanket in public. It's nice. I'll throw an Amazon link below if you want one. It's warm enough out right now to smell the fish. It's amazing. You guys are gonna get some good shots if I fall in. Yeah. Whoa! I might have to work for this. We got a 1.7 inch whip wad on. Okay, we need to move on. I cannot waste too much time here. Okay, let's see if it's worth poking around down here. It's the river. Anything could happen. I feel like I need to go over there. I'm gonna figure out how to get over there. Here we are. Take it on the other side. It looks deeper here. It is. It's quite a bit deeper here. I think it's pretty clear they're not biting. I feel like there's some here because the water's deep. It just feels like they're here, but they're not biting. That might be last cast right there. Maybe next week. Just stopped at the P.O. box though. No clue what this is. It's been in there for like 2 weeks, so sorry. Is that me? Look at that hair. Dude. It's like a little lure on a lure stand. Deep diver. Dude. Look at what's in there. What? Some beanies. Look at this beast. All right, I could probably go to the ditch this spring and make this official, because you can just like throw anything in there and they'll bite it. Wow. Okay, I need to look for a letter or something. I have now carved your likeness into wood, and I'm wondering if that might earn me a restraining order. That is me. You're probably okay, John. I have received worse from the P.O. box. John D. Forrest. He has a YouTube channel. Says he made a few videos of carving stuff, like such as the cricket's pretty freaking sweet. Good stuff. Forrest Baits. Linked below. Thanks for the stuff, John. That's really awesome, actually. I'm gonna put this somewhere, and I'm gonna make this official. And I assume that's a functioning bait. I'll take that off of there and make that official too. Thank you. Thanks for the beanie too. Okay, we're gonna go hit up a classic. There's the fully assembled blob fish in all of its glory on a fishing pole. Get some better shots at the spot. What spot? The pike spot. The former pike spot. I have a new pike spot. Sacrilege, I know. This spot was garbage last year though. I think I caught like 3 bass all year out of here. That's just quick. Excuse me. Oh my. It's like a pike puddle. There's barely any water in here. Don't slip, don't slip, don't slip. Oh. I slipped. My only regret is not setting up a third-person camera. Oh, I'd say that water is like 45 degrees. Oh my goodness, that was cold. Dude, how do fish live in that? Oh my. They must just become the water. All right, let's not press luck any more than that. We're gonna take some photos of the bait before we cast. The good Lord might be giving me a sign. Get a thumbnail, son. There's all sorts of places to get the bait snagged in the thumbnail. How suspenseful. Okay, how's it work? Can already tell it's a wiggly little nug, little wiggle nug. Oh yeah. Super good. Better than when there was no clear coat or paint on it. I can feel the thump. Thump, 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 thump. I just touched the bottom. Oh. I could feel the thump and it was tangled in the front hook. That's pretty good. Let's see if we can feel the thump even more without it being tangled. I don't know. I still feel the thump. It might be tangled. I don't know. Oh, no, it's not. Okay. This is a good bait. That is a snappy little natural action. It's natural and snappy. That's really good. Oh, I didn't tell you guys some things. I need to tell you guys some things. The rear hook hanger has been placed on the last fourth segment instead of the anal fin, just because I didn't feel like putting a hole through the anal fin. That's it. Was there more? Did I? Oh, the rise. It does rise slower than most of my baits. I know in the last video I said I want a slow rise. But I mean, that rise is pretty hard. So fail. I don't like making baits to where they suspend or even rise slowly. Like, I want these things to get up to the surface when I stop reeling so I don't snag them. So I have this immense hesitation to make things come even close to sinking. There's no way I'm going to catch a fish today, even with an action that good. This year's bait legations are going to be so good though. I have fantastic baits to make official. All right, we didn't snag the blob fish at the pike spot. Good stuff. I'm going to tie on something else for a bit. If I don't catch anything, see you at the shop. Hello at the shop. I did the outro at the truck actually, so see you back at the truck. The blob fish lives to fight another day. It will have its time. I can't wait to get this Invisalign out of my mouth so I talk normal again. I'm almost done. It'll be done sometime this year. Anyway, look forward to seeing the blobfish in a future video catch a monster of some kind. But we need to move on. Thanks for watching. On to the next bait. Don't slip, don't slip, don't slip. Hobbobbling. Feels gross. Smearing it around. Let the splatter be a thing. Oh yeah. It's all good. Ooh, I slipped.